Meeting with the proscribed IPOB leader Nnamdi Kanu, his brother Emmanuel Kanu said that the IPOB leader directed him to caution Biafra agitators and security agents to be security conscious, in days ahead of the Supreme Court judgment on the suit between him and the Nigerian government. He also added that Mr. Kanu and IPOB believed in peaceful restoration of Biafra through non-violence and should not be associated with anyone fomenting trouble in the southeast region and in Nigeria in general. BKO, what's your reaction to this?
Yes, Kanu for some time has been dissociating himself from the violence that is happening in the southeast. Remember, in a handwritten letter, he put an end to that form of civil defense, civil disobedience that is called sit at home, which his group instituted in the first place. The first thing they did was to say, okay, there will be sit at home only on days that Nnamdi Kanu is brought to court. But in spite of IPOB's clear directive that sit at home should only be on days that Nnamdi Kanu is brought to court, the traditional ruler of Enugu Aguleri, one of the most respected traditional rulers in Nigeria today, Eze Chukwuemeka, Nnamdi Kanu agreed to put in writing his directive that there should no longer be sit at home at all in the southeast, whether on the days that is brought to court or on the days that is not brought to court. Sit at home on Mondays, he cancelled in his writing, in his own handwriting, so that there will be no ambiguity as to whether Nnamdi Kanu still wants sit at home in any guise. So, in that meeting attended by the respected Eze Chukwuemeka and others, was the first sign that Nnamdi Kanu does not want violence. He's not happy that his people are being killed. These are people that he fights for. It will bring him no joy to see people killing them in the guise of sit at home. So he said no more sit at home in the southeast. Now, to follow this up, he suspects that as we move closer and closer action, he has to be brought to court for his extradition to be subjected to the dictates of the law. But in this case, the Nigerian government was not interested in any court case to validate his extradition. They forcibly brought him to Nigeria, and he won that case at the level of appeal. Now the matter is at the Supreme Court, and his suspicion is that in the days leading to the September 15 judgment, there could be a spike in violent activities with some people purporting to commit violence in his name. And he said, look, this is the time for us to be vigilant. Let's not play into the hands of people who would want to use the fact of my matter being before the courts or approaching a judgment to escalate violence in the southeast. So he doesn't want that. And he sent a message through his brother that they should tell his people to stay calm at this point and not get involved in any kind of violence that could be erroneously attributed to him. So this is the point that he's making. He's happy to patiently wait for that judgment day, and he will be happy to see the Southeast calm and in peace in the days leading to the judgment, so that no one will say, oh, it is Kanu supporters who are fomenting trouble because the judgment is near, because they are trying to twist the judiciary to give a judgment that is favorable to him. I think that, as I've always demanded, Kanu's matter can best be resolved through dialogue. It is not every matter that must be decided through the law courts.